Today on Simply Cooking by MmmChef, I am throwing a bachelorette brunch for one of my best friends. You definitely don't want to miss this episode. I am throwing a brunch party for a bachelorette for one of my besties who's getting married soon, and I thought that what a better way to celebrate than over lunch on a beautiful hot summer day, sitting outside on the patio, cheersing some drinks and laughing and having a great time feasting. So I love brunch. It's probably my favorite meal type. I do tend to eat breakfast foods for dinner sometimes. So I thought that I would make a spread of all my favorite things and my friends have to enjoy it. So I am starting with my famous coffee liqueur. This is something that I make whenever I'm celebrating or have people over. People love it. It's delicious and with a little zing because there's alcohol in it. So I've got some homemade almond milk that I make. I'm going to start with my almond milk as my base. Then I'm going to add an ounce of amaretto. This is a local Quebecois amaretto. Then I'm doing a shot of a maple liqueur. This is also a local Quebecois maple liqueur. And then I have just enough room in there for my Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee liqueur. Now this isn't local, it comes from Jamaica. You've heard me talk about how I travel there once a year, so I always make sure I come home with some. I think I may have overreached that because it's going to, is it going to spill? Can I do it without it spilling? Ooh, okay. Let's see if I can avoid it spilling. I've got a fresh cup of coffee here because I definitely want to enjoy this little cocktail while I wait for my friends to get here and while I prepare the rest of the brunch. And give this a nice shake so that it emulsifies, and I'll give this a taste. Delicious. Salut. This is also something that I make all the time whenever Wendell and I go camping or to a cottage or any type of like summer like party or what have you. It's just a really great addition to you know, your drink cabinet. Something a little bit different, something creamy, and something delicious. So we'll move those over. So today for my brunch, I'm doing an array of different things. I have a friend who's dairy-free, so I'll be making a frittata, but I'll be using some dairy-free shreds, and I'll be using some turkey bacon because she also doesn't eat pork. And then I have some people who are coming who eat everything. So I'll also be making some sweet potato fries, well, like home fries. I'm going to be working on a fruit compote that I'm going to use some chia seeds to turn into a jam. And I'm going to be making some sausage patties and a hollandaise sauce to go on top of everything. So before you guys came, I cubed up some sweet potatoes, and on the bottom of the bowl here I've got some sliced onions as well. I picked this beautiful and fresh rosemary from my garden. It's so aromatic, so I'm just going to tear this up in here. I've got my oven preheated to 450 degrees. It's nice and hot for me, so give this a toss. A brunch bachelorette is something that I have been hired to do many times, so if you have, you know, a wedding coming up and you don't know how you want to celebrate, throwing a brunch party is a lot of fun. You know, some clients in the past of mine have actually like rented a Airbnb cottage or something on the water in the summertime and then hired me to come early in the morning and prepare brunch for them as their celebration. So it's a great idea. Or you can just have me come and make brunch for your family or whatever celebration you happen to be doing. Sweet potatoes keep falling out of my bowl. All right, spread those out. Get these into the oven. Give my hands a quick rinse. Okay, so now my potato hash browns are in the oven. You could obviously use regular potatoes, but I thought the sweet potato would be a nice change from the traditional thing that we see with brunch usually. And now I'm going to work on a fruit compote that I'm going to turn into a jam essentially. So I've got my pot here. I'll turn this on to about medium. And I've got some fresh local wild blueberries. I've already washed them before I put them in this container. So I'm going to get those in the bottom of my pan. And then I have some maple syrup. I'm going to give just a little splash. Then I have these beautiful fresh local strawberries that I have washed already, but I'm just going to take the tops off of them and we're gonna get this cooking down. Then once it's all cooked down and the fruit is soft and liquidy, I'm going to throw in this 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, mix it all together, and we're going to let it sit for a little bit. The chia will absorb all the liquid and create almost like a jelly texture. And then we have essentially a jam that's been made without a whole bunch of sugar or any type of pectin or any type of like gelatin or anything like that. Just a simple chia jam. I do like to add citrus to this, so a little bit later, once it's all cooked down, I will squeeze the juice of half of a lemon in there. I've got 2 more strawberries. This can be done with any fruit. You could use frozen fruit. We are in the middle of summer here, so I did choose to use fresh berries because they're in abundance right now. But if you did this in the middle of winter, you could certainly use a bag of frozen berries or really any fruit. This would be really nice with peaches. You just don't want to use like pineapple or kiwi because it might not set as well. I can hear that sizzling already. I'm just gonna get the lid on so that it can simmer for me.
Be sure to follow Daniela on Instagram at MmmChef for all the latest posts, including behind-the-scenes looks of the Simply Cooking set and some delicious culinary creations that will definitely make you hungry. And if you've missed an episode, don't worry because we have you covered. You can tune in or set your PVR to one of the rebroadcasts or log on to rogerstv.com/Ottawa or our YouTube page to check out all of our previous seasons and episodes.
My fruit compote has cooked down really nicely and given us a lot of juice. I'm squeezing this lemon in here, like I mentioned earlier, to give it a little bit of sweet and sour tartness to go along with the maple syrup and the fresh berries. And I've got my chia seeds here. I'm going to put those in and give this a good stir. And I'm going to put this to the side as we continue to cook everything else. You'll see at the end, right before I serve and put everything out, how thick this is going to get. All right, we'll put that to the side, the lid on it. Okay, so I'm going to be making a turkey bacon and dairy-free cheddar frittata. So here's a trick, parchment paper. If you crumple it up like this, then when you put it inside of a pan, it will actually hold its shape much easier than if you didn't crumple it. and it holds really nicely in the pan. So that's a trick that I like to use. I've got this turkey bacon here. A frittata is a crustless quiche. It's an Italian version of a quiche, and it has no crust. But I'm doing kind of like a fake crust because, as you see, I'm lining the pan with the turkey bacon to make like a fake crust on the bottom here. And cover the whole thing. And then I have these extra pieces that I'm going to actually lay around the edges here, as you see, to literally make like an actual fake crust. To cut these in half to give the right amount of coverage on the sides here. Now we have a fake crustless, well, turkey crust-ish quiche. I've got some beautiful farm fresh eggs. Next, I'm going to turn on my skillet and get it nice and hot. I have some sausage, actually some Toulouse sausages that I took out of the casings, and I have them in a bowl in the fridge. I will take those out and form some patties. I've got egg juice everywhere, but that's okay. Some dairy-free cheese. Give this a good mix with my fingers. There's no better tool than your fingers. I'm breaking up the yolks. Perfect. Now this one is going to be very simple. If you wanted more flavor, you could certainly at this point add some chopped onion, some chopped garlic. You could add like a handful of spinach. You could add some chopped up cherry tomatoes or bell pepper, or even like olives, anything you really like in there. But I've decided to keep this one really simple because I'm going to be making some hollandaise sauce, and the simpler this is, the more hollandaise flavor will come through when we eat this. I'm popping this in my oven. My oven is set to 400 degrees, and my sweet potato home fries are in there getting nice and soft. I can smell the rosemary. It smells pretty fantastic. Okay. I've got my cast iron skillet getting nice and hot. I've got it on medium high. Let me grab my sausage. I've got some pork sausage. This sausage is actually called a Toulouse sausage. It's a traditional French flavor. I took them out of the casings so that I would have this right here like that. And I'm going to form them into patties. If you wanted to make your own sausage mix, you could buy some ground pork or some ground turkey or ground chicken, and you could mix it with some seasonings. This has salt, pepper, garlic, and I believe sage, but you could certainly use like paprika or other fresh herbs like oregano or rosemary to kind of match the flavor of the sweet potato home fries. Is that gonna sizzle for me? Yeah. Get these formed up, and these are gonna go really, really nice with everything I have going on. If you see behind me, I have some other things set up. I have some cranberry lemon bagels that we're going to be serving with this brunch. I've got some sliced bread so we can make toast and eat our delicious chia jam on it. And I have the makings of the beginning of hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise is typically served with poached eggs, but I thought that since, you know, I'm an unconventional chef, I would do a play on it and make hollandaise, and we're going to drizzle it on top of everything. Gonna get the rest of these patties formed up. Gonna get them seared really nicely and brown on both sides. And we'll see you after the break.
Food and discussion go hand in hand. Join the conversation on Instagram at MmmChef. Send us your questions. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like to make. Maybe even send a picture of your own culinary creations. Good food, bringing people together for centuries.
Check out this chia jam. It is so nice and thick and jammy. The chia seeds have absorbed all of the liquid in the fruit. It's perfection. Unlike a regular jam though, this will only last in the fridge for about a week. So if we don't eat it all, we'll freeze the rest. But I think we'll eat it all. I've got my beautiful fruit platter, my liqueur, my bagels, my sausage patties all cooked up and ready to go with some ketchup, of course, my sweet potato home fries, and my beautiful turkey bacon crustless quiche, also known as a frittata. So right now I'm going to make some hollandaise sauce to go on everything. I have 3 egg yolks here, and a hollandaise sauce is kind of similarly made to like a mayonnaise, but instead of oil, we're using butter. I'm using a ghee actually, which is a clarified butter, but you could use like regular butter as well. This is, you know, a different way to make hollandaise. In a restaurant setting, the hollandaise would probably be made like on the stovetop, but because I'm here at home, this is like a no-fool way to make it, so I like that. I'm using the juice of half of a lemon. If you don't have lemon, just like mayonnaise, you could certainly use a little splash of vinegar. I want to make sure I get all that juice out. And I'm going to whisk this together to start the emulsification process. And then I have my hot, hot butter. And I'm going to keep whisking. And you go so slow. Don't want it to split, so I'll take a break from there and keep whisking, keep going. Making sure to break between the drizzle so that it can completely emulsify. Love it. I can see it starting to thicken. I can see it emulsifying. Oh, this is a workout, that is for sure. I wonder if anyone else has ever made a hollandaise from scratch, whisking like this in a segment of TV. Maybe Julia Childs. Sometimes I like to say I'm kind of like the Italian version of her because I drop things and I make mistakes, but I just keep going. Oh, my arm, switch. I've got one more drizzle left. You can see how thick it is. My whisk is kind of pulling through. Sometimes I would have Wendell help me and he would be pouring while I'm whisking. But my friends are gonna be here any minute, and I wanna get this done. Don't wanna stop. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is missing some freshly cracked black pepper and some Himalayan salt. And we'll give this another good whisk. Look at this beautiful ribbon of hollandaise. We'll get rid of this stuff. Okay, I have this beautiful grapefruit drink. If you want to see how I made it, I actually made it on my antipasti episode this season and forgot to showcase it. So I thought, why not serve it at my brunch? It is freshly pressed grapefruit juice with some muddled basil, and it is just one of my favorite summertime drinks. So I'll be serving coffee with the coffee liqueur as an option. I'll be serving this delicious basil grapefruit juice as well. And I'll have some vodka in case some of my girls want to add it to the grapefruit drink. This is one of my favorite summer flavors, basil and grapefruit. Ooh, I can really taste the basil. It's fantastic. All right, I definitely have to be a taste tester, or at least make a little plate for myself to show you guys everything that I made. So I have this beautiful piece of frittata. You can see the turkey bacon fake crust around the bottom, and the dairy-free cheese shreds have melted really nicely for me. I'm going to take a sausage patty. I'm gonna get a little bit of sweet potato home fries. And I will drizzle some hollandaise over top of all of it. Okay. A little bit of egg, a little bit of sausage, a potato. I might be a little biased, but if I do say so myself, that is fantastic. And now the chia jam. I really want to taste a little bit. I'm going to rip a little piece of this gluten-free bread so I can steal it and taste the flavor in this chia jam. It tastes like, you know, a really high quality gourmet jam, but it doesn't really have much sugar, and it doesn't have any pectin or any emulsifier, which is really, really nice. My friends are going to be here any minute, so I'm going to get this all cleaned up and set up for them. Get this hollandaise into a lovely little pitcher so that it will pour nicely, and we're going to celebrate my friend. And if you're interested in ever hiring me for a celebration or a brunch party just like this, you can find me online, MmmChef. We'll see you next time.
Be sure to follow Daniela on Instagram at MmmChef for all the latest posts, including behind-the-scenes looks of the Simply Cooking set and some delicious culinary creations that will definitely make you hungry. And if you've missed an episode, don't worry, because we have you covered. You can tune in or set your PVR to one of the rebroadcasts, or log on to rogerstv.com/Ottawa or our YouTube page to check out all of our previous seasons and episodes.